Okay. Hands. Right here in the black top. The microphone is right on the chair there.
Thank you. Your answer to Kathy basically answered my question. My daughter-in-law is having difficulty carrying a baby to term, and especially today, I have really felt fear that I think is coming from my son, the father. And based on past experience, when my son had cancer, I want to ask for some kind of reassurance about the baby, but I also realize that these are all perfectly wonderful Christs that I don't have responsibility for and that I don't have to fix. And
you just have to know the truth about them. You don't have to fix them.
But I would love to know if it's possible. But whatever you decide is fine with me. Well, it isn't any of my business really, but I would like to know if the baby's going to be all right.
He's going to be a very interesting child.
Oh God. So
It is not that she's having difficulty carrying a child to term. It's that he's having difficulty wanting to let it come to term. He is the culprit here, if you want to put it that way. And you have never known him, so you couldn't possibly be to blame.
Thank you, Raj.
Except there was that one time 3 lifetimes ago.
Ran over him with my horse. You know.
At this point, it's not likely that he will succeed in terminating the pregnancy. But as I said, he will be an interesting child and is likely to be a handful. Very independent, but not mean.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her not to worry, and embrace him. But let her also know that in the end, he's the one who will be making up his mind.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Beyond belief. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You are welcome.
I love you.
I understand, and I love you and all of you too. Okay. Hands? Yes. Yes.
I may have a little bit of trouble to articulate this, but I feel like I am standing on a cliff pissed against the wind. And I guess I've never really asked this directly. It's always been in a roundabout way. So, does it fulfill purpose for me to complete the dictation that I was my guide has told me to sit down and be with. I don't need that smirk.
Well, he's a pretty big bruiser. You think I'm going to say no?
Well, he's been beating on me for the last couple of years, and I seem to be handling.
What is your reluctance?
I haven't the slightest idea. Well, no, I do, because a few years ago, I was doing this, supposedly fulfilling my purpose there in front of a typewriter, and I came to a gathering and I asked you if it was appropriate. And your words were, well, listen deeper. And so I took that to mean, well, since I have to listen deeper, I must be listening pretty shallow, and what's more shallow than the ego? And so the idea is, well, if I wasn't listening deeper then, why would I start listening deeper now? You're right, this is ongoing. This is ridiculous.
The simplest, most intelligent guidance I can give you is do it and get it over with. Until you are awake, all of you, there will be always more of the vastness of infinity, more of the wholeness of your being for you to let yourselves into. And so when I said, listen deeper, I meant let yourself even further into the fullness. Your ego introduced the comparison between deep and shallow. It is a pleasant experience to listen more deeply, with less resistance, in other words, with more willingness. In a way, listening more deeply is like listening bigger than the bubble surrounding the tiny part of you that you're letting yourself experience. And of course, that which makes a bubble get bigger makes a bubble pop. Of course, I encourage you to continue and complete the document. That's not a command. It truly is an encouragement.
Would it be kind of this is the content is not the import, it's the doing?
That is correct. But mind you, I didn't say the content was unimportant. I didn't say it was meaningless. I didn't say it was irrelevant. I didn't say it was inconsequential. What I'm saying is, treat the content with respect, but give your attention to allowing the continued communion ever and ever more fully or deeply.
Was it you who told me to, the words were listen tomorrow?
Many times. No, I'm joking. The answer is yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hands. Yes, you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I've had a job as a part-time personal assistant for 3 years that I think probably a change is long overdue. So I'm looking to find out if that's true, and also what direction should I go?
It is not that it is time to leave. Change is not called for. It is time to be looking elsewhere, to be open, but it is not appropriate to leave this until something new has unfolded. There is truly more or additional significant learning, and I mean that in a positive way. The fullness isn't complete yet. What I mean to convey is, don't take things into your own hands and force the issue. And I'm also encouraging you not to aggressively look for other work. It's not here for you yet. And so you would just, in so many words, pound the pavement uselessly. But you are sensing a change. It's just that it's not immediate.
And so it will emerge in a way that I would recognize it.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed.
Because I feel like I'm just waiting. And that it's a funny place to be in, that I feel like everything I have that I'm able to do is just this very mundane sort of, it's like chores. And that where I am, and I can serve a function if I stay there and just do what someone wants me to do. But anytime I have any creativity or any ideas, it's just like, it's this big message like, no, don't go there. Just do what I tell you to do. And it just seems like that is showing up everywhere. And I'm confused, I guess. So stay till I'm not confused. That's what you're saying.
Well, don't act while you are confused. You are just moving within the orderliness of things.
Okay.
I encourage you not to find fault with yourself for not being able to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
You are not out of balance, and you are not creating a lack of balance in your environment or with those around you. Don't be goaded into proactive steps. Until there's a place to put your foot.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. And then be attentive, but you're already doing that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I was afraid I was missing something, or
No, indeed.
stuck, or not getting something, or so it's all in order.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And there is movement
Mm-hmm.
in your life, but mostly it is within at the moment.
Yes.
It is important.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hands? Yes, right here.
Thank you, Raj. Over the last 6 months or 7 months, my wife and I have been listening to your tapes and have grown spiritually from them and have really gotten to a much better place in our lives than I think I've ever been before. I also have a question on a career move. I know in the big scheme of things, one person's career shouldn't be the biggest thing on his mind at the time. There are other more important things, relationships and love and family, but I think we all get stuck in the rat race, and we get egos from all angles telling us we need to do this or need to do that as far as making a living and progressing. I currently have a job I really enjoy. It doesn't pay a lot of money, and I'm currently thinking about going back to school at my age. I'd like to
and
know...
What age is that?
I'm a young man. Well,
Too young or too old?
No, I'm not afraid of... No, I'm not afraid. I'm 51, but I'm not afraid of going back and retraining myself again. I've been to school and enjoy learning.
Would you retrain to be more successful?
That's my question. Am I going to make advances and progress myself if I were to do that, or is that necessary to have the sheepskin in order to make the bigger money? Or I currently have a job that I think is very beneficial to my brothers and my sisters. I promote organic gardening and being a steward of the earth and the land. And people are receptive to me, but it doesn't pay a lot of money. And I'd like to provide a good income for my family. And you're pressured from a young boy up to manhood that if you don't make X amount of dollars, you're not successful. And I don't buy into that, but I convince myself you're doing right, you're doing good things, and the ego jumps in and pushes me the other direction. How do I keep that from happening? How do I fight that impulse or that fear, the fear factor that continually jumps back in my face, and I push it down and say, sit still. I've listened to you say, down boy, stay where you are, I don't need you right now. It seems to be a continual struggle. Luckily, my health is good and my family relationships are good, and my struggle, I think, right now.
Luckily, your health is good.
A lot of other people... I don't have the other struggles that some other people have, and I'm blessed. And I'd just like your input on that, how to be stronger.
Well, coming back to this word culture, remember that the ego, its one function is to seek agreement. And why does it seek agreement? Because the ego knows that it doesn't really exist. But if it can get agreement with another, not about whether it exists, but on any point at all, the so-called contract that results seems to prove the existence of the parties involved. And so it seeks mutual agreement from other egos for the purpose of securing a body of validation so that it can say, I am real, I exist. Now, you happen to live in an area where success, accomplishment, has very definite meanings, given very high priority, and they are not the same as other areas, let's say, of the United States. And so you are invited, cajoled, nurtured, and even insulted in order to get you to adopt the current cultural definition of success. In other words, the culture constantly attempts to acculturate you, incorporate you. And always it will be, and this is true of everyone, always it will be at the expense of the essential you, your connection with it, your awareness of it. Don't you dare go back to school unless you're going back to school to extend your awareness of something you value and that you love so that you might share it more completely. Don't you dare go back to get something that the culture says qualifies you to be respected enough to be successful and have all that accompanies success. In other words, don't sell your soul. To the degree that you do let the acculturation occur, you dim your light, and you actually end up making less of a gift. The temptation is to learn how to get better. I am encouraging you to do whatever it takes to give better.
I think what I've learned from your tapes is once you give all, it comes back 2 and 3-fold to you. But it's just the fear that I can give and give and it won't come.
I don't like that at all.
You don't?
That's because that is
Not
like
that I expect that.
giving to get. Give all because it fulfills your purpose.
That was what I was meant to say, that once you give your soul, then the abundance will come. Not that that's my goal for abundance.
Just as long as you don't give your soul away.
I feel abundantly blessed by what I currently have and the job that I do and the family that I have. But it's I think society's pressure continually saying, go for more, go for more. And
Who's going to be your God?
I stay confused.
Who's going to be your God? What is going to be your God? You are unique. Your presence itself is a gift of uniqueness. You're not here to have yourself be molded into, shall I say, a Stepford husband, or any copy of anything else. That diminishes the gift and covers it over. It's really important for all of you to develop a spontaneous indignation when you are asked to conform to a mold of any sort. Now, them's dangerous words, because they can be so easily misconstrued to be justification for license, for bad behavior, for behavior of any kind. Choosing to behave badly has nothing to do with not being caused to conform to the status quo so as not to make waves and not to allow change to happen. And that's what I said not to do. Don't conform. Don't cover up the gift of you. But the gift of you is always forthcoming when you're no longer trying to be independent from the very source and essence of your being, so that you are conforming to it. You are conforming to that which is divine about you, which is you in your totality. And it has nothing to do with independence of any sort. It has to do with the utter originality with which God conceived of you.